After being a physio for 11 years and treating runners in my running clinic in Southwest London for the last 6 years, I can tell you there's 7 really good strategies that help get rid of runner's knee in the fastest and safest time. We're going to go through those today. My name's Ed and we're going to get started with the first one. The first one is diagnosis. You need to know that what you've got is definitely runner's knee, because something like a meniscal tear could give you pain at the front of your knee, and the difference between a runner's knee and a meniscus tear is the time it takes for it to get better. The second one is understand the root cause. Understanding why your patellofemoral joint is irritated. That's typically the area which is angry when you have runner's knee, which is a joint at the front of the knee, and typically it's sensitized, it's angry, sometimes it can get swollen and stop you from doing things like climbing stairs comfortably. Obviously running, long periods of walking can hurt as well, and as well as long periods of sitting. There's lots of reasons why runner's knee can occur. For example, one of my runners came in recently, said that I've been doing loads of strength and conditioning and my knee still hurts, and it was actually a training schedule error that was the reason why his knee was hurting. So he was really strong, very good strength and mobility and control, but what was missing was a really good, steady, accurate and safe running program for him. So no amount of strength and conditioning for him would have really helped, because how much he was training was the issue. So we need to know why you're in pain. Third one is optimism. Patients who don't have optimism don't face challenges very well. So during the rehabilitation journey, there's always going to be undulations and ups and downs, and we call it a sawtooth road to recovery. And people who really have very, very low self-esteem about whether they will get better, do still get better, but it can take longer and it can be more stressful. Filling yourself with optimism, where do you get that from? Normally from the first two, knowing what's wrong, knowing why it's there, so that you can have a plan of how to fix it as well. The fourth one is strength and conditioning. Now, strength and conditioning is good for a number of things. It's good at relieving pain. So there's lots of research to show that just gentle strength work actually does have a pain-reducing effect, which happens way sooner than any strength changes, which can take up to 12 weeks. But what we're really aiming to do with strength and conditioning is increase the capacity of your leg to tolerate more, basically. So if this line represents how much your knee can tolerate, and this is what you're asking it to do, then that's okay. If you start to do more than your knee can tolerate, that's when an injury like runner's knee will occur. And strength and conditioning and rehabilitation can help to increase how much the knee can tolerate. And there's lots of other benefits as well. And with runners, what we typically want is lots of single leg work to isolate each leg individually, because that's what's generally going to happen when you run, unless you run in a very peculiar way. So things like squats are still beneficial, but ideally we want runners to be doing single leg work. And there's lots of other principles that we follow for strength and conditioning for runners as well, which I'll cover in another video. Number 5 is sleep, rest and recovery. People overvalue intensity and undervalue consistency in rest and recovery and sleep. So again, similarly, lots of night shift workers who would come in, chefs, nurses, doctors, with really recurrent knee problems like runner's knee. And they've done courses of physio, they've done all the right things and changed their running style and gone to really big lengths to try and fix the problem. But until we identified that how much they were recovering wasn't adequate enough, did we see any big changes. So in that situation where we can't necessarily say quit your job, you need to get a new job to rest more, but what we did was change the training program they were doing to reflect their lack of recovery, because quality sleep wasn't getting, what wasn't happening. That's how important it is, basically. Number 6 is return to running programs. Now, what often happens is patients say, great, my knee's gone, I'm good to go, thanks Ed, you're the best. And we have to say, whoa, what are you going to do about returning to running? Because what typically people do is say, right, I'm going to do a 5K, see how I feel, and then it's a little bit stiff and sore, and they say, well, I got away with that one, so it must be okay. 2 days later, they'll go, I'm going to do my 10K now, that's what I used to do, and they get the wind behind their sails, and they're looking at their watch thinking, I think I might try and go for a PB here, and then bang, the knee isn't ready for that, basically. And a return to running program helps to gradually reintroduce running to your body, so that it can readapt to running again. Because if you have had time out of running, the conditioning that your legs used to have from running, they won't have anymore, basically. And if we charge into your normal running routine too quickly, then it will come back. And there's a real art and science to choosing the right return to running program based on the individual as well. But it's often a combination of running and walking, and it's actually quite a long process as well. So this is difficult when someone has a race, because they almost want to skip that and just say, well, I've got my race, so I need to kind of prioritize that, which makes it difficult sometimes, which we'll go into another time. Number 7, one way to reduce load through the knee when you're running is to increase your step rate. Lots of research shows that a higher step rate reduces the force through the front of the knee, because it reduces the brake force through the front of the knee, basically. And that in isolation might not fix runner's knee, but as part of a really criteria-based and multifaceted treatment approach, works quite nicely. So when we're returning back to running, sometimes a slightly higher step rate can just help the runner just feel a little bit easier and lighter on their foot, and make the knee feel a little bit better as well. So they're the 7 key evidence-based strategies that we use at Instant Physio to help our runners get back to running after they've struggled with something like runner's knee. If you want to learn more about how we help people, or if you have any questions, you can book a call with me. All you need to go is email hello@instantphysio.co.uk, and we can set up a 15-minute Zoom call. I really want to know what you want me to do videos about, and if you have any questions, then I'd love to help. Thanks for watching, and please hit subscribe.